It's
so living in this society, it's so important that we are constantly critiquing like imperial white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, because if we're not critiquing it constantly and critically thinking about it, then we're being complacent.
I find that a lot of white people like get super offended or uncomfortable when they're in those conversations, but it's like, no, like you have to like accept that that is like the situation. If you're just like, I don't want to listen to this because it's making me uncomfortable because you're talking about all the bad things white people are doing and I'm white, like that's not going to get you anywhere. Like all that's going to do is make you more ignorant because you're not listening.
Yeah.
And you're not open to like hearing experiences.
And it's okay to take like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people get offended by people saying like, oh, this isn't right, you can't say that, or you
Also,
can't say this.
But people always say like, oh, it's not all white people or not all men. Before you have to make that point clear, like, just make it clear through your actions and through what you do that that's not you.
Like if someone says that about you, it's like the best you can do instead of being like, well, I don't do that, is show that you don't do that because your actions speak louder than your words.
You know that man with the sign that was like, nice white ladies, I'll see you next at the next Black Lives Matter protest, right? Like, I mean, everybody, you know, the thing is, like, everybody fights movements for themselves in that sense. But they don't realize that all these movements are for everybody. This process of political radicalization is the path for everybody. Decolonization is for everybody, not just the colonized, also the colonizer.
That's what really bothered me about the Women's March was because it was, I felt like I heard a lot of, I didn't go, but I heard a lot of things about like people of color not being included.
And I noticed on like a lot of celebrity platforms too, it was mostly, I don't know, I felt like it was really watered down. Like it was just for white women.
I'm not saying like they had balance. They didn't come into this with like, oh, I'm not supporting these women. I just don't think they gave into consideration of the other women that exist in the world. Like not just the women that are like white and have normal jobs and that like have families and that. Like I'm talking about like strippers and like people of color and people who are like lesbians and like there's just so much more to women than just white women that are straight.
But that's why the media isn't so much support of it, you know? Is because it's a white woman's march.
That was what was so frustrating for me, was like I was seeing all this shit about it and I was like, what happened when there was like a march for the Dakota Access Pipeline and barely anyone showed up?
Media coverage.
And that's like,
it's like people don't understand the media is the most biased thing like, in this country.
No, mainstream media in our country is only owned by 6 companies. That's it, and they're all preaching the same thing. The government doesn't work for the people. The laws are there so that companies can do whatever they want.
It's so that they can stay in power and that we can stay weaker and we can stay ignorant.
Yeah,
you know?
It's about all the companies that we're supporting with our struggle and our being oppressed.
It's a capitalistic society.
Exactly.
So we're based off of monopolies and these like big businesses.
It's interesting how 5% of the people in America have more money than everyone else in America.
Isn't it 1%?
It's so
yeah, it's 1%.
1%.
That's not even 5, it's 1%.
1%
has more money than the rest of America, and that just doesn't make sense.
Like, we can't rely on the government. We can't protest in the way the government wants us to protest. Like, it starts from the people, and us people, we have to protect each other. We have to stand solidarity with each other.
And that's what's hard is people keep looking for change in our government. The government is not what is going to create change. It's the people that is what's going to create change.
So, like, literally look at your daily life and see what you can change as an individual. Doing things that they don't notice until the numbers start changing. Like when we stop feeding into big corporations and start buying from our local grocery stores and our local markets and from our local stores.
Right, and it's so hard because Americans are so wired to buy into that.
Yeah.
That's how white supremacy is maintained, because people of color are forced to rely on white people.
We're literally forced.
Well, a lot of people in this country really don't understand that most minority communities, they need more in order to succeed at the same level as white people do. Like poor neighborhoods need more in order to get to that level where they can be competitive with other communities.
So
it's like we're spending all this money on a fucking wall, but we can't even clean Flint's water because it's a poor neighborhood. Imagine if the government wasn't getting paid, and if people didn't get paid to be
teachers, like what we were saying about teachers. Like imagine if people were elected to office not because of like money or power, but because like they wanted to do something for people. You know?
I think that like focusing on local politics is more important, just because it's like it's normal people that are in our communities and they understand our communities. But there's just like this revolving door as you get higher and higher up in the government. Like there's more CEOs getting into government.
In war, politicians should be the ones that are fighting in the front because they're for the people.
They don't risk their families' lives, but
like,
we're out here being like cannon fodder for a war that it doesn't even.
Bait for them.
Yeah.
Donald Trump isn't the I hate that there's this whole dialogue around Donald Trump when it's like
there's a larger
as a
problem.
distraction. There's a larger problem. Like not only the fact that the vice president is Mike Pence and the whatever after that is Paul Ryan. Like our entire system is what we should be talking about, not focusing all of this energy on what this one man is saying.
People,
it's not he's enabling.
He's enabling, and he's also like the face of it. He's like literally the face of
Donald
fashion.
Trump is like the face of the imperial versus capitalist patriarchy.
People are really acting like their whole life, like the whole world has changed, but it's always been this way. It's always been this way.
Donald Trump being elected made it a reality for a lot more people.
Yeah.
And so now a lot of people are reacting to that, but the system has always been like that. When Obama was president, the system was like that. That's why I think Donald Trump was almost good for this country because he's acting as a catalyst for what was already going on, you know? So he's speeding up what was already bound to happen with a revolution and a change in government and a change in the way our system works.
He is literally the gasoline on a fire. And it's beautiful to see people starting to speak out.
I think it's just really a shame that it took this much for people to wake up.
Yeah.
I think the problem is we don't have a model for how to overcome this whole entire globalized system.
Without it being completely violent.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, it's what is the next move? What are we striving towards? We don't even know what.